Oh, Kairi Nazaimasu, Goshujin-sama! Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Fam, thank you for the raid. Thank you, and welcome, raiders. Welcome, everybody. I'm Fangy. I'm a comfy shape-shifting cryptid and part-time maid at the Moe Mansion. We are doing a little just chatting stream today since I had a very busy weekend at PAX Unplugged over in Philadelphia. But let me do a little shout-out for Fam real quick. Thank you for the raid. Thank you. So over the weekend, I went to PAX Unplugged, which is a tabletop gaming convention in Philadelphia. If you've ever heard of PAX before, it's generally like a video game convention, but there's always been like a little bit of a board game and like tabletop RPG aspect. So a couple of years back, they ended up making a tabletop version of the event too. So that's PAX Unplugged. Cause get it? Cause like it's unplugged. It's not electronic. Yeah. But I left on Thursday to head down to Philadelphia, and we were there Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for the convention. We left Sunday afternoon. This was probably I feel like it was like our fourth time attending. We've been since all of them, like since the very beginning. We started doing PAX East in Boston in like 2011, I think. And then I think PAX Unplugged started in like 2018 or so. And then there were a couple of years off for the pandemic. DB says I missed it because I suck. No, you don't suck, DB. I think you are very cool. You love the vibe? Yay! I hope you can come sometime. I think you'd mentioned in the past thinking about going to PAX Unplugged. But good to see you, DB. Good to see you. I thought that, since I am kind of like low energy after conventions, I get like very tired. I'm a very introverted and shy cryptid. So like being in a social environment for like 3 days is a little tough for me. So I thought maybe today we could just hang out and look at some pictures I took. Hopefully that's alright with everybody. But also, Hedgems, congrats on first. Gem, congrats on the highly sought after third. And Cubic, congrats on second. Oh, Kyrie, Cubic, oh, Kyrie. I thought I would do the most exciting picture first, which is the con hall, the infamous con hall photo, where you show off all the treasures you got there. As you can see, I lean heavily towards the tabletop RPG. Oh, Craigie! Thank you for the resub, Craigie. Thank you so much for those 46 months. Craigie was actually at PAX Unplugged too. We got to hang out for the second time. And also so was another friend from Twitch, Frank, was also there for the first time. But I lean heavily towards the tabletop RPG aspect of PAX Unplugged. For a long time, I was super into board games. I would do a board game night at my apartment and at my house every single Friday, and there would be like 12 to like 15 people here playing board games. And then we kind of got into playing like D&D instead. And that kind of took over a little bit, where it was like we could play board games or we could play the world's greatest role-playing game. Not to mention that in 2020, when COVID happened, that kind of also put an end to board game nights. I suppose people can use tabletop simulator and stuff like that. There's also a lot more virtual board games nowadays than there were back then. But anyway, you can see I'm very biased towards the books. I have lots of books here. They are not all mine. Some of them do belong to Boo Bear, but most of them are mine, to be honest. I went a little wild and crazy. I was like, it's indie RPGs. We gotta support the indie developers, right? So it's okay to spend money. 10 to 15 people for a board game night is impressive. And we were doing that like every week. Like we'd have like 3 tables of different games going. It was wild times. Those were the days, you know? Back back in the before times. So we will just where should we start? Where should we start? Why don't we start from the bottom and work our way up? How's that sound? Also, hi Friday! Happy Monday, Friday! Yes, we're looking at pictures. We're doing show and tell today. Okay, so first, I just can't see it. Okay, over here in the bottom right, this right here, this is a book called Cyborg. There is this tabletop system called Morkborg that I have never played. It's about death metal, I think. But this is like a robot version of it or something? Or maybe like a cyberpunky thing? This is one of the ones that Boo Bear got. He's much more into like the sci-fi stuff than I am, which is weird because I was a Trekkie growing up. This one is called Death Game. It was very strange this year. We went to the Indie Press Revolution booth, which has tons of like little indie RPGs. And there were 2 different books that were Battle Royale inspired. And I'm super into Battle Royale and like Danganronpa and stuff like that, murder mystery kind of things. And there were 2 different books this year that were like Battle Royale, Hunger Games-esque. And I was like, okay, these are pandering specifically to me. I will buy these books. So we have this one here, and we also have Deathmatch Island. And I was telling my friends about the books that I bought, and some of them have played Deathmatch Island and said that it's very good. So I'm quite interested in reading it. Sadly, the ride home, we always drive to and from PAX's because they're like 6 hours away. So it's like, it's a long drive, but it's not long enough to justify flying just because plane ticket's expensive. So we always drive. And on the drive to PAX, you can read it because it's light out. But on the drive home from PAX, it's usually dark. So I didn't get to read any of my books in the car ride. However, I am visiting family this week, and I do plan on reading Deathmatch Island and Death Game during that. I'm very excited about it. This one, which you see here, with the giant lens flare. it got censored like an onsen episode in an anime or something, right? Which is a shame because it actually has really cool art. But this is Fabula Ultima, which is a tabletop Japanese role-playing game. So it's inspired more by JRPGs. And I've heard that this is good as well. And actually, Cricket has played this one before. Fabula Ultima mentioned. Fabula Ultima censored. Not intentionally. Not intentionally, I swear. I'm just a really bad photographer. I'm not good at it. But, I grew up playing, like, JRPGs, so I'm intrigued by it. I like the idea. I saw the art, and I was like, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna get the core rulebook. So I went up, and there was the core rulebook, and then there were, like, a couple different, like, settings. There was, like, a high fantasy setting and, like, a sci-fi setting. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get these. And then the store guy was like, oh, we have this bundle. If you buy this bundle, we throw in this DM screen and this quick start guide. And I was like, fine. So I got talked into the bundle. It was funny because I was walking with my friends and they turned around and then suddenly I just had an armful of books. You can't see, but there's a couple books stacked on top of each other here. But yeah, I'm very susceptible to salesmen. It's a problem. Please don't try and sell me anything. This over here is Monarchies of Mao, which is basically the cat version of Pugmire, if you've ever heard of Pugmire. Pugmire is a kind of spin-off sort of D&D 5th edition. They kind of like were inspired by like I think the Open Gaming License or whatever, the OGL. So it's very similar to D&D, but in Pugmire you play dogs. You play a bunch of dogs who are like in an alternate future where mankind has disappeared. And they're kind of like they're kind of just like what's left over, you know? So like there's human ruins and stuff and like ancient human civilization, but the only people that exist anymore are like animals. So this is the cat version of it. I already have the dog version, but they had a 50% off sale. So I was like, you know what? I might be a dog person, but I will allow people to play cats too. So I bought this one. And then over here, this one I think is an adventure. An adventure for the rat people. Because there's also a rat race in this system, this world. I don't know if they have a name for the overall setting, but there's a rat group as well, and this is like a little adventure module featuring them, and it also has like playable rat people in it too. So now, whenever I run Pugmire, people can be dogs, cats, or rats. We can have the whole variety. And over here, this one. This is a murder mystery dinner party game, which I haven't looked into very much. However, some of my friends were over recently, and they were talking about how they want to do like a dinner party or something sometime. And we were like, what if we do like a murder mystery dinner party? Like we always hear about those, but we've never done any. And then so when we saw this book, we were like, okay, we should probably just buy this. And then over here is, it's cut off because, again, I'm a bad photographer. But it's 24 game poems. So, poetry, I guess? This was one of Boo Bear's purchases. He buys interesting things. A glub, sure thing, Fry. Thank you, thank you. Cricket said, so I bought this game. I haven't looked into it much, but yeah. Well, sometimes you just get in the shopping mood when you see books, you know? Up here, these are just like random paper handouts that people were giving me. But look here, right here. Oshi Push. It's a VTuber card game that's coming out, and they were giving out little card packs, little surprise card packs. I haven't opened them yet, so I don't know who's in it. And then right here, this is the only board game I got, which I did not buy. The game company Cass had a booth, and they had this giant dice tower that they made. And when I say giant dice tower, I mean like taller than I am. And then they had these big foam D20s as well, and you could throw the D20s into the dice tower, and depending on what you rolled, you would get a different prize. And I rolled like a 16 or something like that, which meant I got a $15 game for free. And they had this Spy Family game for $15, so I was like, you know what? I'm a weeaboo. I'll take this. I've only seen the first season of Spy Family. I think a second season came out. I did watch a movie though. There was a very cute movie about a train ride. Deathmatch Island we already talked about. Battle Royale. Very exciting to check this out. Over here, this is KMS Games, which does not stand for what you think, okay? It stands for Killer Mystery Suspense. And this is a company that is bringing a Chinese variety of LARP over to the West. So there is this genre in China called Jubensha, which is a murder mystery LARP thing they have over there. And I watched a YouTube documentary about it earlier this year. And I was like, that's pretty interesting. You know, I'm kind of always like slightly interested in LARP, but also a little bit afraid of it, because it's like, role-playing to begin with makes you feel a bit vulnerable, I feel like. And then you throw in like like a more physical aspect to it too, and I'm like, oh, I think I'm too shy for this. But the murder mystery theme really appeals to me, so I was like, maybe this is something I can check out sometime. But this company has been bringing some games over, and I think this might be one of the first ones they've published. It's called Secret Tribe, and the way it works is it's a murder mystery, and players get like assigned different roles and stuff. And yeah, it's kind of like a combo. I guess I feel like with like a murder mystery dinner party thing and like a LARP. I don't know. It's interesting. I'll put a link in chat actually, to the documentary I watched. Ah, it started playing. Okay, this is the documentary I watched about it. Also, Fry said, so the dice tower was 4 feet tall. I don't know what makes you think I'm 4 feet, okay? I'm 5'6", and that's before you count the antlers. Okay, so if you actually throw in the antlers, I'm like super tall. I'm basically 6 feet. Over here is Monster of the Week, which I've already played a whole bunch with my friend Draconic. He's been running a once a month, a Monster of the Week of the month on his Twitch channel for a couple of us. And I decided I would finally buy the physical book. You can often get like digital versions of tabletop books for much cheaper online on like drive-thru RPG and websites. But I feel like there's something nice about having the books too. Especially if you're gonna play in person. If you're playing in person, it's very nice to have a book that you can just pass around the table. Over here is Tiny Library, which is another thing that Boo Bear got, which I don't quite know very much about. But I think it's maybe a compilation of a bunch of small games. Up here, at PAX, they always do something called PAX XP, which is sort of like a scavenger hunt. There will be like QR codes around the convention that you have to go find, and if you scan them all, you get a prize. And I don't know what this is. I'm assuming it's an adapter for like different USB types or something, but I don't know. I haven't actually tried it. Here's my patch. I always get a patch for each of the PAXs. This is of the pins that I got at PAX. I am a big enamel pin collector. I have a problem, and this is a limited edition pin, so they sell, only a certain amount of them each day. This is the show set, so every PAX there will be 4 pins that release just at that show that are like officially themed for that year. So it'll be like, PAX Unplugged 2024 and the show logo and whatnot. These 4 right here are all cookies. You might not be able to tell, but this is a cookie getting eaten by Displacer Beast. This is a cookie that's GMing with their little GM screen. This is a rogue cookie that has a little grappling hook, and it's actually attached by a chain too. And then this is a cookie scientist. So those are from a group called the Cookie Brigade, which is it's a charity organization where they go to PAX and they hand out cookies, and in exchange for donations to Child's Play, which is a charity that the Penny Arcade folks started quite a while back, which is basically helping kids in hospitals with like gaming technology. So they do a lot of cool stuff like that with bringing games to hospitals, and even like helping hospitals hire people specialized in like working with kids and the games and whatnot. So that's really cool. Over here, this is a Humblewood pin. I have not played Humblewood, but Humblewood is kind of like Pugmire, I think, where it's kind of like built off of 5th edition. That's my understanding. And it's also animal themed. But it was just this cute little lizard, and he's got like a little potion in his pocket, and his like little cape. And he's like, "What are you buying?" And I was like, "That's pretty funny." So when I saw it, I grabbed it. I traded for this one. I did not buy. I traded. I am big into trading the pens if I can, because then you don't have to spend money. Also, hello, Dork. Hello. Good evening. Or I guess good afternoon for you. This is Slay the Princess, which is a game, a visual novel kind of game by Abby Howard, who was actually on a reality TV show that Penny Arcade did. They did a reality TV show about webcomics. where different webcomic artists were competing. And she was one of the finalists. Spoiler, maybe I should have warned you. But she's gotten into game development recently. I know she worked on Scarlet Hollow, and then most recently was Slay the Princess, which my friend Mino gifted me recently, and I played through, and it was very good. I would highly recommend it. This is a Flumph, which is a D&D monster that is very cute. They are very, very friendly little creatures. They are very good oriented. Like they always say, one of the #1 rules in D&D is to trust Flumphs. But they're also not very strong. They're just good little fellers. This is a Pokemon pin. I don't know this guy's name. He's a sushi man. It's like Tatsugiri or something, but I don't know exactly. He's a sushi man, though. For many PAXs, the Pokemon Company has been going and doing demos of the card game. And if you demo the card game, they'll give you one of these pins. And I have all of them so far that are PAX official. They've done the pins at other non-PAX conventions, and I obviously don't have those, sadly. They've been like doing those at like Gamescom and like some of their tournaments and stuff, I think. Conventions I can't attend. But interestingly enough, they weren't actually at PAX Unplugged this year. This is the first PAX Noel that they haven't been at. So I traded for this one with someone else. And then finally, this is the 2024 Club PA pin, which is Club PA. It's basically a Penny Arcade fan club. They have a Patreon, and if you subscribe, they'll send you like merch throughout the year. And the pin is one of the things you can get. And then last but not least, this is Cookie Dough, which is one of the new mascots, sort of, I think, for Cookie Brigade. Obviously over here, they have this Cookie Man. I think his name is Chippy, because he's chocolate chip. But this is Cookie Dough, and she was, I believe, designed by Tasty Peach, who is this really cool plushie maker, and she also makes pins and other stuff. And for years now, she has been donating her plushies to Cookie Brigade, and then Cookie Brigade will use them to like raise donations at PAXs. So every year it was kind of a tradition for me to buy one of the plushies, and eventually I started collecting her plushies because of that. And this year they have an official Cookie Dough one, which is very exciting. And also, fun fact, the artist and the maker, Tasty Peach, she's also a VTuber. Let me see if I can get a link to her thing for you guys. But she's a VTuber called Chimeras. Let me see if I got it. I have it on Twitter, but I always spell it wrong. I want to make sure I spell it correctly for you guys. Here we go. Okay. Ba-da-ba. I'll put a link in here. And then I'll put a link to her plushies too. Because I just think it's super cool that she always donates some of them to help raise money with Cookie Brigade and Child's Play. So I'm a big fan. But that is all of our swag. Dork says, is that some kind of human-dog amalgamation? Well, so her name is Chimeras, which is, you know, chimera. Like, actually, I don't know where chimeras are from. Are they, like, Greek mythology? They're in Full Metal Alchemist, so you should know them. If you're a weeaboo, you should know what a chimera is. But don't worry, guys. I have more photos aside from things I spent money on. Hey, Shy. Hello. Shy's another VTuber friend. Well, we were PAX friends before VTuber friends. But Shy is a really cool artist that I met on the PAX community Discord, and we've been meeting at PAX the past couple ones. And then also Shy's partner Yuki is also a VTuber. Let's see. Next up, oh yes. So this is my favorite booth at PAX Unplugged that I was telling you guys about earlier. Indie Press Revolution. You can't see here how big it is. It's very big. They have a bunch of bookshelves. But it is all indie tabletop RPGs. So, you know, no D&D, no Pathfinder, no Call of Cthulhu. We're talking indie stuff. So here's the Deathmatch Island I bought. Over here is Ryutama. That's one that I have bought previously. That is a Japanese tabletop game that got brought over. Basically, I can't go into this booth and not come out without spending a bunch of money. I always look forward to going here every year. Shy says I got so many pins. Yeah, Shy's a big pin collector too. We met up at the community pin trading event. This is a cool thing that Indie Press always does. When you buy their physical books at the conventions, you can email them a receipt, and they will also send you PDFs of all of the books. So you get a digital copy with every book that you buy, which I think is super cool. Oh, Kyrie JD, thank you for the resub. Thank you for the 73 months. Thank you. You're also on a 1-year streak. JD says, at my grandma's right now, so I'll just assume you're saying that it's in the mail. You can't hear me. Alright, let me see in chat. Thank you, JD. Thank you. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Dork said, absolute pinhead. Is that what pin collectors are called? Because it should be. I don't think they're called that. I think they're just called pin traders, mostly. So those were all the books that I bought already. There are other books, though, and tabletop games that I was interested in, but I did not buy. I did exercise some self-control. But I took pictures of ones I'm interested in, like, looking up and potentially checking out in the future. This one was called Our Woodland Gods. I saw a creature with antlers, so I was, like, instantly drawn to it. But this is a GM-less game, which I've never really played GM-less tabletop RPGs. So, it's a role-playing game where you don't have, like, a dungeon master or a game master. And you can see it says it's a cozy cultist storytelling game. So in this game, you and your friends are little animals that live in the woods, and you're in a cult. And then one day, the god that you worship dies. So it's kind of like, what do you and your friends do after that? Which is, you know, kind of a weird and spooky premise, which I'm intrigued by, you know. I am a cryptid after all. I may be cute, but I'm also creepy. Just like this little creature here. Shy said there was a really cool booth with a Studio Ghibli style 5e campaign thing. It was so cool. I wonder which one you were talking about. I saw one that was called Obojima. And I didn't have time to look into that one. When I first walked by the booth, all I saw was like a bunch of like cool playmats. So I thought they were like selling anime playmats at first. Huh. Fangy, hello, how are you doing today? I'm a new viewer. My name is pronounced as Nate. Welcome, Nate. Welcome. And I'm doing good today. Thank you for asking. We are talking about the vacation I just had over the weekend. Dork said this does look interesting. The art style reminds me of Don't Starve. Oh, I can see that. I definitely can see that. I'm a very simple creature, too, where, like, if I see an interesting art style on a book, I'm like, ooh, what's this? What are this? Shy says the cool Ghibli-looking game was Obojima. They had the Penny of the Little Bush Dust Sprite thing. Oh, yeah! I remember seeing that and thinking it looked like the Soot Sprites. It was, like, it was called Mossling. That was one of the pins where, like, I wanted it, but I was trying to be good this year and not buy too many pins, which sort of worked, but then I was bad and bought lots of books instead. So I guess you win some, you lose some. Hi, Cass. Okairi, Cass. Welcome, welcome. Bum, bum. Bum, bum, bum. Up next, this game is called Sentai Insensibility. I admittedly am not huge into Sentai. Please don't get mad at me for that. It's just not a genre I've looked into very much. Amusingly, my favorite anime is about Sentai, but I've never watched too much Sentai myself. I've seen the Sheen movies, so like I've seen like Sheen Ultraman and Sheen Kamen Rider, but I haven't watched any like the original stuff. But one of my friends in Moe Live, one of the butlers, Mercury, and I think a couple other folks too, are really into Sentai stuff. So I try to take pictures like whenever I see something that I think might interest my friends. But this also has a weird aspect to it. It's not just like Sentai. It's like Victorian Sentai? Romance, righteousness, and giant robots in the fashion of the Regency. And the back was like, if we don't stop this kaiju, we'll be late to the ball. And I was like, you know what? I'm not normally into Sentai, but I could get on board with this, I think. Cat said there's no such thing as too many pins. Cass, I think you're wrong because I have a lot of pins, and I put them in shadow boxes, and I kind of started running out of wall space for my shadow boxes. I have a link. I have a site that I use to track all my pins, at least the PAX pins, at least. And it says I have 490 pins, which is a little terrifying, and I don't want to do the math to figure out how much money that was. So, there might be such a thing as too many. There might be. I love them, but it is a dangerous rabbit hole to fall down, okay? Dork says it's Clockwork Mecha. Oh, maybe like steampunky. I could see that. At least it's not keychains. I do have keychains too, though. The keychain addiction's not as bad as the enamel pin one, but I definitely do have a lot of keychains. And the problem with that is that, you know, I do wear bags. I wear a purse. I am a cryptid that carries lots of things with her, but you can only have so many keychains on your bag before it starts making clanking noises. So I have to rotate them. So for PAX this year, I brought my Moe keychain, and I brought Mercury's Moe keychain, because it was actually his birthday during PAX, so I took him on a birthday field trip. At least the keychain version, which is nice because you don't have to buy them a ticket. Keychains get in for free. Cass said, I counted one time and I have nearly 100 plushies. Honestly, I might be there with ya. I have a lot too, because I collect Pokemon plushies. I collect Pokemon plushies, Neopets, I have all of the Hatoful Boyfriend Pigeon plushies. And then I collect the Tasty Peach plushies. And I have a bunch of Cheeton plushies, was one of my more recent ones. And I'm also a fan of the Fan Gamer plushies. They do really good ones. They have like Madosuki from Yume Nikki. They have like Pyramid Head. They have Nico from One Shot. So yeah, plushies and pins are probably my two biggest vices. Shaya said, I didn't know PAX had badges for people with mobility issues, but it was very helpful this year for Yuki. Yeah, PAX has medical badges, which I've never really read much about myself. I've had it suggested to me before because I do have moderate to like severe scoliosis, so sometimes my back gets pretty bad. But I've been trying to kind of manage it with like yoga and physical therapy. And I've mostly been okay recently, so I haven't pursued it myself, but I think it's really nice that it's an option. Cass says, I have like every Fangamer plushie. Nice, nice. I think I just have 3 right now. Or no, 4. Wait. I have Madosuki, I have Nico, and I have the Tunic Fox. Okay, so I have 3. I think, just the 3. And then I'd like the Pyramid Head, and I would also like the Hat Kid from the Yakuza DLC. Bum, ba bum bum bum. Wow, we got really off topic though, didn't we? Okay. Next up, in terms of RPGs I was interested in but did not buy because I do have some amount of self-control, is The Electric State by Free League. Free League is, they're overseas, they're European, it's a European company. So if you're interested in their books, shipping can be quite expensive. So PAX Unplugged is a good opportunity to get their stuff without paying an arm and a leg in shipping. But I've played some of their stuff in the past. They do Tales from the Loop, which is this cool AU. It's kind of set like in the 80s-ish, I believe. Maybe like 70s, 80s. In a more like sci-fi-y version of our world. People often compared it to like Stranger Things a little bit in terms of the game, because in Tales from the Loop, you are basically kids, and you're kind of solving mysteries and dealing with strange happenings in your little town. And that's the game by them that I had played previously. They also have like an Alien game, a Blade Runner game. What else do they have? They have a dragon one. I don't know what it's called though. Anyway, they have a bunch of different games that they've done, and most of them use kind of the same system, but are sort of like they kind of like branch out from it. But this is The Electric State, and it is inspired by this one artist, and it's the same artist that inspired Tales from the Loop as well. But this one, you're not playing as kids. You are going on a road trip, kind of across like this weird, I think almost semi-dystopian future, which appeals to me as a Fallout fan. I'm like, delicious post-apocalyptic. So I think that sounds fun. I was interested in it, and I kind of wanted to get it, but I talked to Boo Bear about it, and he basically said that, like, one of the cool things about Tales from the Loop is that it's all set in, like, one little town, mostly, which kind of makes preparation easier. Whereas with this game, since it's, like, road trip themed, it's like, oh, you'd kind of have to come up with, like, a bunch of different settings, wouldn't you? And a bunch of different locations. Welcome back, JD. Welcome back. Dork says, oh, I love spending $30 to $40 on shipping. Well, yeah, because we're weeaboos, right? We're used to it. Except for when Surugaya has free shipping weekends. Cass said she heard about the Alien game. Oh, you have? I've never seen any of the Alien movies. I was kind of afraid of aliens when I was little. It's getting better now that I've hung out with Moog. I've realized that not all aliens are scary. But when I was a kid, I was, like, very afraid of them. Bum bum bum. Okay, it's in the movies, not just aliens in general. Yeah. Specifically the Aliens IP. Bum ba-dum bum bum. This one is called Brindlewood Bay. And I really enjoy the premise for this. In this game, the players are little old ladies that belong to like a mystery book club, and then they get involved in like a real mystery, and I think that's so fun. I'm really intrigued by games where you play as like little old ladies. I think it sounds like very fun to roleplay. And one of my friends, Cthulhu, said that this game, she said it's pretty good. She said she's played it before and she likes the system a lot, and she's even like using that kind of system for other games. So that's good to know. But I did not buy this one, but considering people have been recommending it as well, I might have to pick it up next time. Bum bum bum. JD says, Fangy's already a little old lady cryptid, so is it even role-playing? I'm not an old lady. I'm not. 408 years old is very spry for a cryptid, okay? Just because it'd be old for a human doesn't mean it's old for cryptids. Not little. That's true. I'm not little either. I'm very tall. I'm 5'6". That's like the average height for a girl in America. And that's not including the antlers. I'm perfectly average, but plus a little bit with the antlers, so I'm above average. Bum 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 bum. Nephews in Peril is like another like mystery expansion for the Brindlewood Bay. So I assume in this one you're like grandmas. And maybe something happens to like your grandkids or your nephews. Bum 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 bum. JD says, Fangy, you're like 6 inches tall on my screen. Okay, well, you can make anything small on a screen. You can zoom out. Okay, that doesn't mean anything. If you put Shaq on your computer screen and then zoom out, he'd be very short. I didn't know there was an old lady subgenre. There's all kinds of interesting indie tabletop games out there, right? You gotta branch out from D&D, guys. Branch out and become a little old grandma and save your nephew. Bum bum bum. This one I didn't look into too much, but Cottages in Cerberus. The back said that it is cottagecore meets monster hunting. And I was like, I don't have time to read through this right now. But that does sound good. People do like cottagecore nowadays. It's very in. Look, don't you want to be a pretty lady with a mushroom hat on? Of course you do. Everybody wants that. Bum. You feel like they should butcher that head? No, it's fancy. It's fancier this way, right? It's like how when you go to a fancy feast and they have the whole pig on the roast. They're roasting the whole pig. It's fancy. These are fancy dragon cooking techniques. They probably should remove the teeth, though. Bum 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 bum. Deimos Academy. This one sounded interesting. The premise for this one is that the players are adults who are attending a school reunion for like their old boarding school, and it seems like they have like repressed memories of like scary, monstery stuff that happened there. It's not clear to me if it's like a metaphor or if it's like actual like eldritchy monster stuff. Like you see like a tentacle down here. Like you see tentacles and you think, okay, that's pretty eldritch, right? I'm not entirely sure. But either way, I'm kind of interested. Bum bum bum. This is another one where the genre isn't or not the genre, but like the theme doesn't appeal to me personally, but I have a lot of friends that I know would be interested. So this is mech and kaiju. I'm really not super into either of those. I think I'm more interested in kaiju than I am in mechs. I have a hard time getting into robots. Like, I'm okay with like androids, like humanoid looking robots. But like the blocky, like Gundam-y robots, I can't do it. I just can't do it for whatever reason. I need something more humanoid. JD says, get in the robot, Fangy. I do not want to get in the robot. I do not wish to. But I know a lot of my friends like mechs. They like Gundam and Transformers and all that jazz. And Boo Bear's really into kaiju. He went through a Godzilla phase and a Gamora. Is it Gamora? Is that the name? The turtle. He watched all the turtle movies. Not the Ninja Turtle. He watched those movies too, but I don't think they're considered kaiju, because you gotta be big. Gamera. Who's Gamora? Gamora is the Space Avenger. The Guardian of the Galaxy. That's, oops. Jem says I'm too tall to get into the robots. Yeah, my antlers like always hit the top of the door frame. Here's another one. Look, there's two. Why are there two? Mech and Kaiju. Mecha versus Kaiju. I guess there's a big demand for this right now. Everybody wants to be either a robot or a giant lizard. Good for them, good for them. Bum 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 bum. Oh, and this book was not for sale, but at PAX they have something called Alexandria. And it is a library you can go into and read tabletop books. And they have a bunch of... Oh, 1 second, guys. It is time to take my meds. 1 moment. Okay, I'm back and medicated. Everyone, make sure you take your meds and drink lots of water. So as I was saying, PAX has something called Alexandria. I don't know if it's at PAX East too, or if it's just PAX Unplugged, but it's a library of tabletop RPG books. And some of the ones they have are like really old. This one was from the 90s, and it's a WWE role-playing game. And I've seen some wrestling tabletop games before, but they're like indie ones. I didn't know that there was an official WWE one. So that's kind of fun. So that's it for the books that I took pictures of. I also took pictures of tabletop accessories, I guess. Things other than books. So there were a couple different booths that had like tabletop terrain, which personally it's not really something I think I'll ever get into. Just it's expensive and difficult to store that kind of stuff. You need space, but there's really cool stuff there. Even if I can't buy it myself, I do enjoy looking at it. This was one of the crazy ones that I saw, and I didn't get a picture of it, but they had smoke that would come out of the chimneys. Every once in a while there'd be smoke coming out of the chimneys. And I was like, that is so high tech. Could you imagine if your tabletop campaigns were this high tech? This is for fancy folks. If you're fancy, if I was a millionaire, I would buy this kind of stuff. This is the Dwarven Army. Oh. I think this might be the group that does some of the terrain things for Acquisitions Incorporated, maybe. 'Cause I think theirs is also called Dwarf something that they use. But this stuff is super cool if you have the money for it. That's for sure. Oh, Very Much Ray said, were there any 40K tabletop? There actually was a really big Warhammer booth. They had a huge Space Marine statue thing, and he was wearing a scarf, like a winter scarf, and I was like, you know what? Good for him, he's dressed appropriately for the season. He's staying nice and toasty. But I myself, I've never gone into wargaming, like miniature gaming. I've only ever like used minis for RPGs. I think it's probably a good thing. I think it's good that I've avoided Warhammer and Magic the Gathering, because my understanding is it's a lot of money. I have played one of the Warhammer tabletop RPGs. I played Rogue Trader once, and that was fun. But in terms of the actual like miniature war gaming, I have not gotten into it. I've managed to avoid it myself. Space Marine needs a space grade scarf. True, it's very cold in space, isn't it? You're right, it is pricey. Yeah. I've had friends that played. I've had friends that played in the past. And that was my impression from what they told me, is that those little plastic men can cost quite a bit of money. Bum 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 ba da ba ba. Dork said, "Can you shop the guy on the ground rolling a 1 on a d20?" What was Dork referring to? Oh, this guy. Oh, if you photoshopped a d20 into his hand, that'd be really good. Dork, you should be a designer for wrestling TTRPGs in the 90s. We gotta get a time machine. We're gonna go back and get you the job. Here's something really cool I've never seen before. And I don't know if it's ever existed before now. I feel like it must have at some point. Actually, no. I did talk to the creator a little bit about it, because I was like, I've never seen this before. Has this been done before? And they told me it's been done before for D6s, because you know a lot of board games will use D6s, but it has not really been done for other number-sided dice for like tabletop RPGs that people use. So this is Braille dice, and of course you have the D6, but they also have all the others. You know, they got D20, D12, D10s, D8s. Do they not have a D4? They might have used something else for it. But it's cool because this was something I had not even thought of, because I don't really have any experience with Braille. But the orientation matters. So like, if we look over here, if we look at like B and /2 and C and /3, they're both 2 dots, right? So depending on which way the die was oriented, it would read as something else, right? So if you go back here, that's why you can see on like the D6, there's a little gap here, and that's for like orienting yourself for which direction it's facing, kind of. So you know, if you know, like, is this a 2 or is it a 3? So it's very cool. They call it a touch point edge, an orientation marker. Very cool stuff. This was in the I think it's called PAX Together room. And that's where they usually have like accessibility stuff, and like some of like the LGBT gaming groups will be in there too. And I just thought it was cool. I'd never seen it before. It's interesting. I've never really seen much in terms of like tabletop accessibility, I guess. They have this on display. Gaming tables, in general, cost a lot of money, like thousands of dollars. If you guys have ever looked at like Wormwood, or what is it? Is it like Elderwood is another one, I think. There have been a bunch of different companies over the years, and we're usually talking thousands of dollars for these tables. They look amazing, so you know, I don't blame them. I understand that why they would cost a lot, but usually outside of a lot of people's price range. But this is even more high tech. They have like a screen built in for the table now. Now I do have some concerns with this, because like, if something broke, I imagine getting that repaired would be really difficult. You know, getting like a replacement screen and everything. So I don't know how practical it is, but it is cool. It's pretty neat. You can put your map down here and then put your real minis on it if you want to. Like, obviously here they're using like digital minis, but like you could put your real map on here and move your physical mini around on it. And that's cool. It's cool stuff. I think this is how the 1% lives. The tabletop 1%. I bet like Matt Mercer has one of these in his basement. Bum bum bum. This is a silly sign, a silly banner I found. Oh, the 1% would get those little villages made. That's true. That's true. All right, the 1% can have the little villages, and the 10% can have the digital tables, and the rest of us can have pen and paper. Ray says, I've seen people put a miniature landscape and use a TV as a background that plays ocean video. That's cool. That's neat. There have definitely been like a lot of creative solutions out there that people have done for like maps and tabletop RPGs. But I've always used printed out paper. JD says, Fangy is not the 1% after taking and not returning all my Twitch bucks. How many Twitch bucks do you think you've given me? I assure you, it is not enough to buy a gaming table. Maybe my lifetime Twitch earnings could buy a gaming table, maybe. And even that's pushing it. Oh, but, PAX always has a couple of, like, silly banners randomly spread out around the convention. And it's always fun to, like, walk around and try and find them all. So this one, let me tell you about my homebrew RPG and other weird tales of tabletop terror. In this issue, your character sheet is a series of sticky notes. Critical fail, debate me to turn that to a success. The only snacks allowed at the table were dry popcorn and nutritional yeast. The random table was made ostensibly without knowledge of bell curves. Shared encumbrance spreadsheets. I used AI to generate my lore, and returning by popular demand, instead of dice, we use a deck of cards. All this and more. So, I think shared encumbrance spreadsheets, I think one of my DMs actually has done that. Some of my DMs like experimenting with like homebrew stuff. I'm not opposed to it. But this is all just in good fun. I just thought it was silly. Ray says, alright chat, we need a volunteer to the black market so Fangy can buy her gaming setup. I'm gonna... Oh gosh, do you think there's a black market for gaming tables? How could that even work? It's not like you can have like... It's not like someone can steal a gaming table, right? Like, they're so big. It's not like there's someone out there fencing gaming tables, I would think. Maybe illegally 3D printed gaming tables. Bum bum bum. We sell the volunteers' organs on the black market. Oh! And then we buy the gaming table legitimately. Okay, that makes way more sense. I understand now. Okay. Alright, I'm on board. Oh, so I mentioned earlier Humblewood when I was showing you guys the pins. It's like D&D but with critters. And here's a little owl and he's cute and I want to take him home with me. I just think he's neat. Ba-dum-bum. Shh, Games Workshop would not like the 3D printing miniatures. Yeah. Oh, this is cool. So my friend is a designer, and he designed the logo for this like map company, kind of, or not map company, but this map product called Into the Wilds, and they are books that are made that are all maps that you can use in your tabletop campaigns, and they're all like dry erasable. So you get dry erase markers, and you can write on it, and you can put your minis on it. And I think it's really cool. I actually, I backed the first Kickstarter they did. Unfortunately, COVID happened, and I have not super got back into playing tabletop games in person. That's something I'm hoping we can change in 2025, so that I can put my maps to good use. The guy that makes these, Tom Kartos, is also over in Europe, kind of like the Free League folks. So, buying them online, shipping can be a little bit, you know? So there are some folks who will go and make sure they get them at PAX Unplugged. So as you can see here, I took this picture. Sold out, 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 sold out. Everything was sold out on Sunday. Even on Saturday, like half of them were sold out. It was wild, man. Every time I walked by, more stuff would be sold out. And it's like, dang, good for them, you know? Very cool. And I'm really, you can't see it here. I'm really interested in picking up another one of them. There's a new one that I think, I don't think it's made currently. I think it's like the next Kickstarter that they're doing, which is all modern maps. Because as you can see here, most of these, you know, like towns and cities, caves and caverns, castles and keeps, dungeons, very fantasy themed, very medieval. But a modern one you could use for like Vampire the Masquerade or something, you know? More modern systems in terms of settings. So I thought that's an area I'm lacking map-wise, so that's something I might pick up in the future. Ba-dum-bum. And you know what? I'll put a link in chat for these too. Into the Wilds, Tom Kartos. I'm trying to put some links in for some of the cool stuff I found. Bum bum ba-dum ba. Ba-dum ba-dum. Ba-dum ba. Okay, I found his Twitter. I'll post a link to his Twitter if you guys are interested. Obviously, he also has like online stuff where you can like get digital copies of his maps too if you want to put them into like your Foundry or your Fantasy Ground or your, oh god, what was the other one? Alchemy. Alchemy, right? Is that the one? I think. But yeah, you can get digital versions of the maps too, or you can buy those super cool physical books like I did. If you want to be cool like this cryptid. This very, very cool cryptid. Next, more tabletop accessories. These are very fancy dice. Well, I suppose they're not dice, but they are random number generators. And this one is a roulette wheel. So you spin it, you stop it, and the ball rolls along, and I think it's cool. It was very fun to try. There's something very satisfying about like tactile things and like spinning things and whatnot, you know? It also just looks cool. But, after spending a bunch of money on books, I was not gonna spend a bunch of money on dice or spinners this time. Maybe in the future. I gotta prove first that we're gonna get back into physical tabletop stuff and not just digital before I splurge more. Where's the ball? Oh, the ball is right here. I know my camera's not very good. But it's right here. Gambling light. And then there's this one over here, which is a revolver. So I guess this is for roulette tables, and this is for Russian roulette. And I thought, when I saw it, I thought you would like, it would spin this all around. But that's actually not what it does. Each of the bullets is a different, number-sided die. So you pull them out and you roll them on the table. So this is more like a storage mechanism. It has less moving parts than the roulette wheel did. They also have this tower dice, where it's just like, kind of just like spin each little individual level. Ba-dum-bum. They do support every hobby, right? So, I've been showing you guys like all tabletop RPG stuff, because that's kind of like, more my jam. But, PAX Unplugged is actually mostly board games, I would say. Well, maybe not mostly, but a good chunk of the booths will be board games. And last year, I bought more board games than books. And we still haven't played a lot of them because we haven't been doing, like, in-person game nights. So this year, I tried not to buy any board games. I'm kind of like, no, you can't buy any more Fangy until you play the ones you have. But I did take pictures of ones that I thought were interesting. This one, I just really like the art for it. Self-careless. All of the art looked really fun. I just want to, like, flip through all the cards and see them. Like I said, I'm a simple creature. I see art, and I go, ooh. Bum, bum. JD says, yeah, I've never been invited to Fangy's board game nights. Well, don't live in California. River Valley Glassworks. I think this is a new one. I hadn't seen it before. But they had a bunch of them on demo there. And it's really cute. It's like about like river glass or like sea glass. And you're collecting them and making a little collection. And like, one, sea glass is just cool in real life. And two, like, who doesn't want to be a little otter collecting treasures? Doesn't everyone want that? Hey, Mary. Hello, hello. Oh, Kyrie. Bum, 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 bum. I didn't take a picture of the actual game layout. I should have. But it was cute. There was like a board in the middle that like represented the river, and then you'd put like glass on it, and then players would like take the glass, and I think they would try and like collect like X amount of different colors or something like that. Bum, ba-dum, bum. Hope things are going well. Fun seeing all the PAX stuff. Yeah, things are going really good. I am physically rather tired from PAX. It's a lot of walking. Which the scripted is not used to doing for multiple days, but it was a lot of fun. Definitely worth it. There is a booth that's always at PAX called Japanime Games. So a lot of like anime inspired things or just games from Japan. They had an Attack on Titan one, and I just thought this was funny. Isn't this a funny game board? Like, obviously, Attack on Titan, you want to get up and, like, attack the next, right? So I guess for this game, you gotta, like, work your way up. But it just looks ridiculous, doesn't it? Oh, hey, Sari! Grandma's finally back from Ireland. I'm now free from stopping Prince from misbehaving 24/7. Does that mean Prince can misbehave as much as he wants? You're warm and comfy in me bed. Nice, nice! Being warm and comfy is the best, especially during the winter time. I am also, well, I'm not in bed, but I am bundled up with a blankie. Both IRL and with my model. Not sure if you guys noticed my cute blankie. Maid Nap made it for me. It is all purple. It has little meat and carrots on it. It is very cozy. But yeah, this was funny. I saw it and I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta get a picture of that. This is what I mentioned at the very beginning. There is a card game they're making called Oshi Push. I don't know if the game is actually out yet. It looks like they're doing a collab with FaZe Connect right now. And they were handing out free cards. Little, like, packs of random cards. I have not opened mine yet. I assume they are not all Pippa. I assume it can be any of the FaZe Connect girls. But it says 1 of 14 types, plus 28 types parallel. I don't know what the parallel thing means. I've only ever really played, Weiss Schwarz in terms of card games. I've played, like, a couple of matches of Pokemon with my friends. But, Weiss Schwarz is the only card game that, like, I've ever, like, been, like, super interested in, like, playing, like, competitively. So I don't know what this parallel thing means. Maybe if anyone plays like Magic the Gathering or something, maybe you guys, is that a card game word? I don't know. Maybe like variants of the cards or something? Siri says TCG shop sim real. Yeah, don't tell Moog, right? I think Moog's been playing the TCG sim. But yeah, I'll open these up, and if I get any Tenmas, that's one of Wani's Oshis. I'll send them to Wani. Ray says, Fangy VTuber trading card when? Oh my gosh. I, jokingly in my head, I was like, I could go up and be like, yeah, I'm a VTuber too, actually. I'm pretty big. I got like 1,000 followers. It'd be so obnoxious. But maybe someday if Moe Live gets big. Oh, Tori! Hello, Tori. Welcome, welcome, gals. Oh, Kyrie. Welcome, everybody. It's good to see you all. We got Tiger Raid. Thank you for doing the shout out. Thank you, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Fangy. I'm a comfy, clumsy, shape-shifting cryptid and made for Moe Live. Every Monday, I do my Moe Made Monday. This time, we're doing a little just chatting stream about, a board game convention that I went to over the weekend. And we were just talking about this game. There's actually a VTuber card game, and they were handing out promo cards. And, they kept giving me them. I was like, oh, can I have one? They were like, sure. And I took one, and they were like, take another, and another, and another. And I was like, oh my gosh. They must be able to, like, they can, like, smell the VTuber on me or something. They know somehow. How do they know? They just kept giving me more of them. But yeah, I gotta open these up and see who I got. I actually know Face Connect people now because Moe Live did a collab and I watched the stream. It was Tori, Pixie, and Wani played with a bunch of the Face Connect girls. So now I'm like, I know some of these names. But thank you for the raid, Tori. I hope you had a good stream. I know you've been doing that Made Pixel game, right? I saw the demo for that during one of the, like, Steam Next Fest? Is the game officially out now? Ba-dum-bum. Also, hey, Juicebox. Welcome, welcome. Okairi. Also, let me say hello to everyone that came in with the raid. We got Red. Okairi Red. Welcome, welcome, Ogata. Welcome, welcome, Delta. Good to see everybody again. You know what time it is? Oh, no. Let me open up my water bottle. I'll get ready. I'm waiting for it. It's JD doing it. Oh, guys, I can't keep count. Oh no. Guys, I don't know how many I did. I don't know how many I did. Cryptids aren't good at math. Oh no. I'll do a couple more just for good measure. Start from one if you forget? No, that's too cruel. That's too cruel, Tori. Don't do that to me. Oh gosh, even Sari and Mogata are getting in on it. Alright, alright. If it's what the masters want, I will oblige. I will hydrate. What else have we got in here? Oh! This is Terraria. Terraria has a board game now, apparently. It's actually... It seems like a lot of video games are getting board games recently. In the past, Stardew Valley got one, and I played that, and that was pretty fun. And then, most recently, Slay the Spire has a board game that is really big. Both in terms of dollar signs and just, like, how popular it's been. It sold out at PAX. I played a demo of it. It was really fun. It's a cooperative board game, which I always enjoy. And, I think it was originally a Kickstarter. I know, Pixie has mentioned it to me before. But yeah, there's a Slay the Spire board game. And there was also Terraria. And I was walking by, and, my hearing isn't always the best. And, like, one of the workers there said something to me, and I thought he was asking if I wanted to demo the game, so I said yes. And then he handed me a balloon. And I was like, I guess I guess this is my child now. So I carried the balloon around the rest of the day. I was like, what do I do with this? I can't throw it out. They just gave it to me. It'd be mean to throw it out. So this is my son. This is my Terraria son. I carried him around PAX. And I brought him back to the hotel room. And all my friends demanded that we pop him. And I did not pop him. I was like, no. That's terrible. So what we did was we undid this thing here. And I let go. And he flew across the room and deflated. Tori says a Terraria board game sounds kind of fun. Yeah, I feel like it could work. It's kind of interesting though, like all these video games becoming board games now. And then I feel like previously it was board games becoming video games instead. And now it's kind of going the other way around. It's like we've come full circle. I did not have Fangy Balloon Child in my bingo list. Well, you know, I keep you guys guessing, don't I? Tori says you let him bleed out. Is air blood for balloons? And if so, does that mean they're always swimming in blood? That's disturbing. Let's see. Did I miss anything else? We are drowning Fangy one sip at a time out of kindness with quotation marks with bunny ears. Yeah. It doesn't feel kind. Also, great Scott, Okairi, Scott-sama, welcome. Ray says, I'll indulge in your fantasy as soon as I get some free time and commission's done. I'll make a Fangy card. Oh, a Fangy card! I hope I have maximum power and energies, and I will cost all the lands. And I'm gonna be an SR. Okay? That's all I know about card games. Basically, make me super OP. Sari says it's where their organs are. I don't think balloons have organs. I didn't see anything in there, at least. JD says, bingo, I have bingo. Bingo, as Mook would say. So, one of the last things that I did at PAX was a concert. Which is weird, right? Like a concert at a board game convention is kind of unexpected, isn't it? But PAX has always had conventions. And it makes a lot of sense for like the video game PAXs, right? Because there are bands that do video game music. Like the Video Game Orchestra always does amazing, super amazing covers of video game music. Like, oh my gosh, it is so much fun listening to them. And there's also a lot of like nerdy musicians too that will go to PAX. And I guess PAX Unplugged, they always said they wouldn't have any musicians because it's PAX Unplugged. Why would you have a concert there? That's not unplugged. But Jonathan Colton and Paul and the Storm, if you've heard of them before, I suspect even if you don't recognize their names, I suspect you've heard music by Jonathan Colton before. He's actually the musician that wrote all of the songs for Portal, like Still Alive and Want You Gone. He did all of the ending songs for Portal. He wasn't the one singing them, granted, but he wrote them and composed them and whatnot. So at the very least, I imagine if you were a Twitch viewer, if you were someone that goes on Twitch, you probably know at least the Portal songs. Tori says she wants to go to a board game con. You should. You should. I'm sure there are some in the UK too. And Sari said, wow, board game con. Yes. So I've been talking about PAX Unplugged, which is the board game and tabletop RPG convention I went to over the weekend. So Paul and Storm and Jonathan Colton are both nerdy musicians that have been to PAX before in the past at the video game conventions. And I guess they went to PAX. Like, the musicians themselves went to PAX and were like, we want to be at PAX Unplugged. And they were like, no, we're not doing concerts at PAX Unplugged. And Jonathan Colton and them were like, please? And they were like, okay, fine. We will do the concert, but only if you play it acoustically. Because it's unplugged. And so, we had an acoustic concert. So this is Paul and Storm. They are the opening band. It is literally one of their songs. Like, they have a song called We Are the Opening Band. And then we have Jonathan Colton, who is one of my favorite musicians. Like, honestly, he's probably top 2. I really like the YouTuber Little Janie Cakes. I really like her music, all of her original songs that she writes. And I really like Jonathan Colton. Like, I have never heard a Jonathan Colton song that I didn't enjoy. They're all bangers, all of them. Tori says she gets overwhelmed by game rules. I totally get it. Sometimes you open up a board game and there will be a million pieces and a big rule book, and it's like, I gotta read. Don't they know I barely understand how to read human? But the trick, Tori, is you find someone else who likes to read, and you make them do the reading for you, and then they teach you how to play. That's the trick. Let's see if I missed any messages. Ray says that's actually cool to have a Portal composer on the show. Yeah, it's super cool. And he's been to a bunch of them in the past, but he actually hadn't been in recent years because he's been so busy. Because Jonathan Colton actually has his own cruise that he runs. And it kept happening at the same time as some of the PAX conventions. So he hadn't actually been there in quite a while. But the very first PAX I ever went to in Boston, I went to the concert, and Paul and Storm and Jonathan Colton were both 2 of the musicians there. So, like, it was like a big blast from the past for me. It was like, whew, deja vu. I'm getting some major nostalgia. It was, really fun. Tori says, Fangy, you like reading? No. That's not true. I like reading books. This is true. I like reading books. I don't like reading instructions. I'm very bad at reading instructions in video games and also in board games. I see text and my eyes glaze over. Which, is sometimes a problem. But luckily, I have friends who are, like, super into board games and will, like, sit down and read all the rules for the new games. And I just make them teach me stuff, and it works great. Let's see. Mogata said, going to a con next year, and there's going to be a member of Crush 40 performing there that has done loads of Sonic songs. That's so cool, Mogata. I really like the Sonic music. That's so cool. I hope they play some. I hope they do. Let's see. Mogata also said, music at cons is always a great vibe. Yeah, and it's just included in the PAX tickets, so it doesn't cost anything extra. So it's like really nice to be able to like see a bunch of musicians in addition to all the other con stuff. Cass says, I like writing more than reading, funnily enough. I'm probably the opposite. I probably do enjoy reading more than writing. With writing, I'm definitely like, I get very like perfectionist-y about it, and I have difficulty starting. Whenever I was in cryptid school, essays were always like the bane of my cryptid existence. I always had a hard time, and I would procrastinate till the last moment, and then I would spend hours the night before crying and trying to make essays. But I would always get a good grade on them. So like, I never learned to not do that because it kept working out. Cryptid school. Yeah, you didn't go to cryptid school? No? Nobody else did? Is it an American thing? Well, I mean, yes, I went to American cryptid school, but I'm sure there are cryptid schools in other countries too. I'm sure. Cass said, I get perfectionisty too, but I force myself to write the skeleton first before I dwell on the details in the wording. That's smart. That's a good idea. Tori says she has to get ready for bed early, but she will sleep to Fangy's voice. Okay, I will do quiet ASMR, Fangy. No, I won't. I can't do it. I don't know how to. Bum. Cass said, unless reading in video games counts. Actually, that's a good point because I do like visual novels. I'm good at reading when it's visual novels, actually. When, like, the reading is, like, the game itself, then I'm good at it. I like visual novels a lot. Louis is so fluffy and cute. You love brushing him. Oh, I want to brush the Louis, too. I want to brush him, the Louis-wee. I'm so jelly. Have you heard of a tabletop RPG called Household, Fangy? I have not. What is that one, Mary? Please enlighten the cryptid on this household. I have watched a parody YouTube series called Humans in Households. It was a really funny premise. The idea was that it was D&D characters, like in the world of D&D, they're playing a tabletop RPG. But for them, their tabletop RPG is humans and households. So they play as humans and do like mundane human things. It's really funny. It's by the people that did the, what's it called, The Gamers? Is that what it was called? It was quite a number of years ago. Ba-dum, bum. Oh, and now, outside of the con, tasty food! So every time I go to PAX Unplugged, there is this amazing market next door. Like, literally right next to the convention center is a big market full of tons of different, like, little food places. And this one I always go to every single day. Every morning, I start with a smoothie from Juice Bar Seasons. Because they have a smoothie there. It's called the Golden Fruit Smoothie. And I've never seen it anywhere else. It's pineapple, lemon, and apple. So it is very citrusy and refreshing. It is delicious. And no other smoothie place I've been to, like, offers all three of those fruits together. It's very sad. I've been trying to, like, check out local smoothie places and see if I can, like, replicate it. But it's just not the same. So if you're ever in Philadelphia and you go to the Reading Terminal Market, make sure you go to Juice Bar Seasons and get the Golden Fruit Smoothie. Okay? You have to promise. Promise the cryptid that you will get the delicious smoothie. And I will promise you that it will be delicious. You promise, yay! Everyone's like, we're from the UK. We're not going to Philadelphia. And then also right next to the convention center is an Italian restaurant called Maggiano's, which I guess is a chain restaurant. But like, it's good. I think it's good, at least. I've never been to Italy, but what is everyone umming? What's everyone umming? Oh, juice. Juice box is umming because of juice. Sorry if we drank your friends. I'm sorry. Is this a Fangy guarantee? Yes. I will vouch for the smoothies. Now, so there is this really tasty Italian restaurant called Maggiano's. And, they have very delicious spaghetti and stuff there. However, the most important thing to get there is creme brulee. This is a giant creme brulee. I guess you can't really tell because I didn't include anything for, like, reference for size. But this is a regular size plate. To be clear, this is not a tiny plate back here. So this is a regular size plate with a very big bowl of creme brulee. It is huge. And now, creme brulee is my favorite dessert in the whole world, probably. Like, if katsu curry is my favorite food, creme brulee is my favorite dessert. And it's huge and delicious, and they make the top super crispy. It's super bruleed, and you can tap your spoon on it and it'll crack, and it is amazing. So if you ever go to Maggiano's, make sure you get the creme brulee too. Unless you're lactose intolerant, in which case, maybe don't. Maybe don't. But maybe do. I can't make those decisions for you. Okay? It's a personal decision you have to make for yourself. And if you get an upset tummy because you're lactose intolerant, that's not on me. Instead of creme brulee, creme bagel, they should call it that. They should. The only bad thing about the creme brulee there is they put fruit on top. They put these strawberries. And I feel bad about it because strawberries are a very cute fruit. I feel like it's very girly to eat strawberries. I feel self-conscious that I don't like them. But, as you all know, I am a carbivore. Meaning, I like meat and carbs. And like 1 vegetable and like maybe 3 fruit. So unfortunately, I do not eat the strawberries. I give them to someone else whenever I go. I say, does anyone else want these? Cass said my favorite dessert might just be cheesecake. Cheesecake is pretty good. But tell me, do you just eat plain New York style cheesecake or do you like flavored cheesecake? Because cheesecake has a lot of options, doesn't it? I'm getting a little stuffy, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I might have a case of the PAX pox. Hopefully not. Hopefully it's just a coincidence. But it's tough. It's tough to go to a convention and not get a cold. I feel fine otherwise. Hopefully the cryptid will be healthy. Hopefully my strong cryptid immune system will fight off all the germs. But we'll see. Only time can tell. Scott says cheesecake ice cream. I've never had that. I've seen cheesecake milkshakes though. I guess that's basically the same idea. Fangy will give you free strawberries. Absolutely. You can have all my strawberries. I don't want them. If it's healthy, yuck, get it out of here. This cryptid will die young. It'll be worth it to only eat tasty things. Ba-dum-bum. Ba-dum-ba-dum. Juicebox says Juicebox will eat anything that will fit down their straw. Ah, so you're not picky at all then. You're very opposite from me. JD says, Fangy, you're too old to die young. Why do you say this? I am a young cryptid. I am a young cryptid at 408 years old, okay? I'm basically a baby. Dairy Queen does a strawberry cheesecake blizzard. Ooh. I mean, the cheesecake part sounds good. The strawberry part, maybe not. Maybe not. We'll see. Sometimes I do like fake fruit flavors though. Like I can eat fruit flavored candies even if I don't like the fruit themselves. Like I'll eat the pink starbursts. Those are strawberry. I like fake healthy stuff. Juicebox says fruits have a much harder time than anything else. Juicebox is 3. Well, maybe that's old though for Juicebox years. I don't know. I don't know how long Juiceboxes live. In my experience, based on when they were in my lunchboxes, not long. Not long. Sari says, I gotta go to bed just like Louie is. Okay, Sari. You and Louie have a nice sleep, okay? Scott says it's so good. The fruit might be real, but they're also candied. Oh, candied! You know, I've always wanted to try candied fruit. I know it's a big thing in Japan. They'll do like a skewer of strawberries or like some other fruit and they'll have it be candied. I feel like maybe I could eat fruit like that then. I should try it sometime. But I didn't see any when I was there the one time. Maybe next time I go to Japan, I will look for this candied fruit. No part of the cheesecake can be considered healthy. Fair enough, fair enough. That's true. Now my last photos for PAX are quite upsetting. As you all know, I'm a cryptid. Some of you may not know my exact species. I am an Ozark howler. I'm also a jackalope. My mother was a jackalope. You can see here. Jackalope. And my father was an Ozark howler. And so I'm half and half. But not like the milk and cream stuff. I'm half jackalope, half Ozark howler. Alright? And so those are obviously the best cryptids in the world. Okay? I'm sure we are all on the same page about this. However, there are 2 other cryptids that everyone in America thinks are so great. And that's Bigfoot. Bigfoot is the main one. People love Bigfoot. They think he's super awesome, super cool. I don't even understand why. Like, he's just a guy with big feet. Like, that could just be a random dude on the street, you know? Like, I don't know what's so special about that. Being hairy and having big feet. Lots of people fit that description. But people love Bigfoot. And so I was walking around and I saw Bigfoot got his own card game. That's not fair. There's no Fangy card game. Right? Why does everybody like Bigfoot more than Fangy? It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. You bet Bigfoot can roar like me? Probably not as good. I'm an Ozark howler, so like howling and roaring are basically my specialty. I'm basically #1 in the world at them. JD says Bigfoot is my cryptid Oshi. How dare you? How dare you come into my Twitch chat and say that Bigfoot is your cryptid Oshi? Unforgivable. Unforgivable. Mary says, don't put Ozark Howler and Jackalope half and half in your coffee. Yeah, definitely don't do that. Definitely don't do that. It wouldn't taste good. Scott says we also have Champ and the Jersey Devil. The Jersey Devil's pretty cool. I'm cool with the Jersey Devil. We're tight. However, other than Bigfoot, there's another cryptid that's come into the scene that people really like a lot. And that's Mothman. And at PAX, Mothman has his own theater. The nerve. The nerve of these people. I've been going to PAX since 2011. 2011. That's... I gotta do some math. Let's do some math here. What is that? That's like 13 years. 13 years this cryptid has been supporting Penny Arcade Expo. And what cryptid do they give a theater to? Mothman. Mothman. Disgusting. I love you, Mothman. Mary! Mary, you traitor! I thought we were cool. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, even my own Twitch chat. This is terrible. It's so tough. It's so tough being a Jackalope and Ozark Howler. Everybody forgets about us. They only care about Bigfoots and Mothmans and their Nessies. Nobody thinks about the little guys. Mothman has been going for 15 years? I don't believe that. I don't believe that one bit. I want to see his PAX badges. Does he have a PAX badge from 15 years ago? Otherwise, I don't believe it. Juicebox love Fangy, friend. Fangy is Juicebox's cryptid Oshi. Thank you, Juicebox. Thank you. You have excellent taste. We have a few more cryptids like Batboy. Batboy is just Batman when he was a kid. Can Juicebox be the next upcoming American cryptid? I believe in you. You can do it. You'll rank in next year's cryptid rankings. The cryptid billboards. Scott says there's a jackalope that was famous in the 90s. Dude was on America's Funniest People? Really? I'm gonna have to look this up. It might be one of my ancestors. Wait, no. Well, okay, he was famous in the 90s, so he wasn't born in the 90s. Yeah, so he might be one of my ancestors then. Anyway, I'm sorry to end the stream on a sour note, but this was very upsetting to see, PAX. Very upsetting. I just feel like maybe you shouldn't give theaters to, like, you know, the big cryptids that everybody knows about already. Like, maybe we should support the underdogs like Fangy, okay? That's what I think. I think underdogs are cool. We like underdogs. We're dog folks here. What? What? Moe you. Thank you for the bits, Otaku JD. Thank you, thank you. The jackalope had a catchphrase, fast as can be, you'll never catch me. Oh, I mean, I have a catchphrase. I'm a jackalope with a catchphrase. It's, don't worry, Katsu Curry. I think my catchphrase is even better, so, like, maybe I should be on America's Funniest People, you know? Actually, I think it probably doesn't even exist anymore. Well, they should make a new one, and then they should put me on it. That's what I think. Mokuda says next year will be the year of the jackalope. Really? Like, this year was the year of Shadow the Hedgehog, so next year is the year of the jackalope? Is that how it works? I thought I read that it was the year of the snake, but you know what? No. Year of snake is cancelled. It's year of jackalope now, okay? Is everybody cool with that? Mary says America's Funniest Home Videos is still on. So I have a chance is what you're saying. Let's do this, guys. I'm gonna end up on there. Ba-dum. I feel like they probably wouldn't accept submissions from a VTuber, sadly. It's unfortunate, but yeah. VTuber discrimination. Home videos, yes, but is people. Are cryptids people? I think we're people. I think we're people. I also think dogs are people too, though, so, you know, take what I say with a grain of salt. Alright, everybody. Well, thank you for hanging out with me tonight. I know I don't usually do just chatting streams. Honestly, they kind of make me a little nervous because I feel like if I'm not gaming, then what do I have to talk about? But, hopefully you guys enjoyed just hanging out and looking at the pictures I took. I'll try to take more pictures in the future for other events. I always do PAX East in Boston in the spring, and then PAX Unplugged in the winter. So I'll try and maybe we can do this every PAX, you know? Maybe we'll do just chatting streams, a little PAX post-mortem, if you will, if people enjoyed it. Let's see who's on that we can raid tonight. We'll see who else is around. It is pretty late, so probably no more Moe folks on tonight. No, looks like Pixie stopped. I know she was streaming Fallout earlier. That's fine, though. We got plenty of friends that are on still. Let's see. Who should we raid tonight? Who should we raid? Ba-dum. Bum. Ba-dum. Bum. Ba-do. Alright. We are going to raid. We will raid my friend Grizz. And she is streaming Stellaris, which is a space game. That's all I know. We will raid Grizz, and we will say, Moe read. Alright, everybody. Thank you for keeping me company. Thanks for just hanging out and listening to the cryptid ramble about her little weekend trip. I will not be streaming tomorrow, Wednesday, because I actually have to go on another road trip to visit some family. I'm meeting the cryptid niece for the very first time, so that's very exciting. But I will be back on Thursday. I'll be doing a collab over on the main Moe Live YouTube channel. And then Friday, we'll be back here with our Furry Farmer Friday. We'll do some more Fields of Mystery. I know we had to miss it last week because I was in Philly, but this week we will farm and we will be furry. Alright, everybody. Good night, goodbye, and I'll see you all again next time. Bye-bye!